Hi, good evening. Today is Sunday, May 7. French election. Emmanuel Macron wins presidency by decisive margin. Centrist independent on course of victory by 65% to 35% margin, but Marine Le Pen's defeat still marks historically high vote for France's far right. The pro-European Union centrist Emmanuel Macron has won the French presidency in a decisive victory over the far-right Front National leader Marine Le Pen, and vowed to unite a divided and fractured France. Macron, 39, a former economy minister who ran as a neither left nor right, independent, promising to shake up the French political system, took 65.1% to Le Pen's 34.9%, according to initial projections from early counts. His victory was highlighted by his supporters as holding back a title of the populism after the Brexit vote and Donald Trump's victory in the US elections. Addressing thousands of supporters in the grand courtyard of the Louvre, the vast Paris Palace turned museum, Macron said he would defend France and Europe. He said Europe and the world are watching us and waiting for us to defend the spirit of the Enlightenment threatened in so many places. He promised to unite a divided and fractured France, saying, "I will do everything to make sure you never have a reason again to vote for extremes." Speaking of his meteoric rise and victory that was not forecast even a year ago, he said, "Everyone said it was impossible, but they didn't know France." Despite the wide margin of the final result, Le Pen scored non-tellers marked and historic high for the French far right, even after a lackluster campaign that ended with a calamitous performance in the final TV debate. She was projected to have taken almost 11 million votes, double that of her father, Jean-Marie Le Pen, when he rejected the presidential runoff in 2002. The anti-immigration, anti-European Union Front National supporters asserted that the party that had a central place as an opposition force in France. Turnout was the lowest in more than 40 years. Almost one-third of voters chose neither Macron nor Le Pen, with 12 million abstaining and 4.2 million spoiling ballot papers. Macron, who has never held elected office and was unknown until 3 years ago, is France's youngest president. Next Sunday, he will take over a country under a state of emergency, still facing a major terrorism threat and struggling with a stagnant economy after decades of mass unemployment. France is divided after an election campaign in which anti-establishment anger saw the traditional left and right ruling parties ejected from the race in the first round of the first time since the period after the Second World War. François Bayrou, an ex-minister and Macron's centrist ally, said he is the youngest head of the state of the planet, which sends an incredible message of the hope. Macron is giving hope to people who had no hope. Hope that maybe we can do something, go beyond the left-right divide that no longer makes sense. Le Pen swiftly conceded defeat. She said she had won a historic and massive score that made her leader of the biggest opposition force in France and vowed to radically overhaul her Front National National Party. Her promise to transform the far-right movement left open the possibility that the party could be expanded and renamed in an attempt to boost its electoral chances. It was a major step in the political normalization of the Her movement. The outgoing socialist president, François Hollande, who was once Macron's mentor and had appointed him economy minister, said his large victory confirms that a very great majority of our citizens wanted to unite around the values of the Republic and show their attachment to the European Union and show France is open to the world. Macron's victory came not alone because voters supported his policy platform for free markets, pro-business reform, and his promise to energize the European Union, coupled with the left-wing approach to social issues. Some of his voters came from other parties across the political spectrum and turned out not in complete support of his program but to stop the Front National. In a political landscape with a strong hard left and far right, Macron faces the challenge of trying to win a parliamentary majority for his fledgling political movement En Marche on the move. In the legislative elections next month, without a majority, he will not be able to carry out his manifesto promises. After the Brexit vote and the election of Trump as US president, the race for the Elysee was the latest elections to shake up establishment politics by kicking out the figures that stood for the status quo, ejecting the mainstream parties that have dominated France politics for 50 years and leaving the political novice Macron to do battle with the far right. His victory comes after a bitter campaign with Le Pen, in which she accused him of being part of an elite that did not understand ordinary people, and he said Le Pen represented the party of hatred that wanted a civil war in France. The runoff put France's most Europhile candidate against in the most Europhobe. In Brussels and Berlin, there was relief that Le Pen's anti-European Union, anti-globalization programs was defeated. And a spokesman for the German Chancellor Angela Merkel said it was a victory for a strong and united Europe, while the European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker said the French voters had chosen a European future. The office of the British Prime Minister Theresa May said she warmly congratulates Macron on his victory, and we look forward to working with the new president on the wide range of shared priorities. Trump, who will meet Macron on 25 May at the NATO summit in Brussels, tweeted, "Congratulations to Emmanuel Macron on his big win today as the next president of France. I look very much forward to working with him." Earlier in the campaign, he had declared Le Pen the strongest candidate. Hours before the end of campaigning on Friday night, Macron's campaign was hacked, which Paris prosecutors are investigating. Hundreds of thousands of emails and documents were dumped online and spread by WikiLeaks in what his campaign called an attempt at democratic destabilization. Macron, a former investment banker and senior civil servant who grew up in a bourgeois family in Amiens, served as deputy chief of staff to Hollande, but was not part of the Socialist Party. In 2015, 2014, Hollande appointed him economy minister, but he left the government in 2016, complaining that pro-business reforms were not going far enough. A year ago, he formed an homage promising to shake up the France's vacuous and the discredited political class. Macron campaigned on pledges to ease labor laws, improve the education in the private areas, and extend the protections for self-employed people. The election race was full of extraordinary twists and turns. Hollande became the first president since the war to decide not to run again for office after slumping to record unpopularity with a satisfaction rating of 4%. His troubled 5-year terms left France still struggling with a sluggish economy and the mood of the disillusionment with the political class. The country is more divided than ever before. More than 230 people have been killed in terrorist attacks in little more than 2 years. The political class is questioning Islam's place in French society, and more than 3 million people are unemployed. The right-wing candidate, François Fillon, once seen as favorite, was badly damaged by a judicial investigation into a string of corruption allegations, including that he paid his wife and children generous salaries from public funds for fake parliamentary assistant jobs. The ruling Socialist Party, under its candidate Benoît Hamon, saw its score plunge into 6%, while the hard-left Jean-Luc Mélenchon finished fourth. The final round marks a redrawing of the political landscape, away from the old left-right divide towards a contest between a liberal pro-globalization stance and the close-the-borders nationalism. Le Pen has styled the election as being between the her party's patriots and the globalists whom she says Macron represents. Yeah, it's no surprise. Emmanuel Macron is a new French president. Congratulations tout le monde en France. The people in France, avec this great victory to Emmanuel Macron, but we need to wait the next legislative election, because he needs right now the great majority. Only I think so. Maybe if he achieves the majority in the parliament, no problem. But if he does not achieve the majority, will be the great problem for him, for his new government, because Marine Le Pen said that the Front National will be the great opposition for this new government. So I think the Marine Le Pen will have to wait the next presidential election in 2012 too, because in France is president period is 5 years after the election, no, but Europe this moment does not no, sorry, won't see the new Brexit, is the great fears to Europe, to European Union, because after the Brexit, the situation in Europe was changing, but after the new president in France, the Emmanuel Macron, is a European Union. Then in September we will have the election in Germany. I think so. Angela Merkel will win the German election. I think the other European members, I don't think so. Okay, the other countries in the European Union will think about the other Brexit. No, after the I think the Holland or Netherlands, the new president I said no the Brexit in Holland, no, Netherlands. Now in France, no, we will not have this Brexit. So I think after this election in France, the European Union will be stronger. No? Thank you very much to watch my new video. If you want to learn English or about with me in English, come here at Class Portugal Idiomas. We can to do class by Skype anywhere in the world. Share this video to your family, your friends, enemies, everybody. Give a like on my Facebook page. I want to achieve the 200 likes. I want to receive your aid, okay? Subscribe it on my YouTube channel. This for me is very, very important, because it's my motivation to do videos every day. Look, right now is 1:38 in the morning here in Mexico. Yeah, I am making this video. So please subscribe to my channel, okay? In my channel you can to find other videos in other languages, in Italian, Spanish, in Brazilian, Portuguese, in French, of course in English. Comment in my other videos, sharing my other videos, give a like in my videos. It's very important for me. If you want to talk with me directly, you can to send me one message for my WhatsApp. He is my WhatsApp number. It will be a great pleasure talk with you about anytime, anything. So send me message. Will be the great pleasure talk with you any day. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day. No Sunday. Have a nice Monday. The first day of the week, the labor week, the working week. See you tomorrow with the other interesting news. Okay, thank you very much, my friends. See you tomorrow. Bye.